Hi everyone. Right, I'm just going to start by showing you how to prepare your sample to sew in the satin sleeve. Okay, turn that around. Here are your pattern pieces. You cut them out and you need to mark on the dots and the notches. So this is your back pattern piece, just cut on the fold. You need to mark that dot, cut that notch for the shoulder, and these two notches here for the armhole. And then on the front, this notch here for the armhole. Okay, and then on your sleeve, got two sleeves, and you need to mark the two notches for the back of your sleeve, dot, 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 and one notch on the front. Okay, that's it. Then you're going to unpin them, all your pattern pieces. Next, we've got to sew the front bodice to the back bodice, so matching your armholes, your shoulder seams, right sides together. I'm going to stitch there. Here we're going to stitch this shoulder seam as well, and then the side seams, front to back. It's normal that it won't lie flat anymore. That's because we're making it 3D. So I'm going to do that, and then we're just going to carry on from there. So now we're just going to get the sewing machine set up. We've got it on a straight stitch. I'm going to sew about number 3 length, and here we go. So right sides together, raw edges even, and seam allowance 1.5 centimetres. One shoulder seam. Match your notches of your shoulder seam again. I'm sewing in red so you can see, but you don't have to sew in a contrast thread. You might want to sew in one that matches your fabric. Back tack, and then off we go. Brill. Next one. Then now we're going to do side seams. Next one. Okay, so we're going to get with that far. And then I'm just going to trim all the threads, press the seams open, and finish them in some way. I think I'm just going to pink them on this occasion, which is fine. There's the little bodice now, little bodice top so far. We've got the shoulder seams and the side seams, and I've pressed all the seams open and just pinked them. So now for the front part, we're going to ease in the satin sleeve. So we can see we've got the dots marked on the top of the sleeve, and now I'm going to put some ease stitching around the top of the sleeve head there while it's flat. You can do it when it's a sleeve, but I think you're supposed to do it when it's flat. It's supposed to be easier. Right, so I'm just going to do a long stitch starting just beyond that dot, going round and then to there. Setting my seam length, stitch length to 4. and I'm not going to back tack. So to set up, I think the best thing to do is to put the edge of the foot against the raw edge of the sleeve, and then just put the needle in and off we go. Oh, turn it on. And just to that. Okay, so take the fabric out, leave yourself some threads to hold on to in a minute, and then we're going to do another row of stitching just next to that one, so about there. Okay, off we go. Now ideally these 2 rows of stitching, these basting stitches, want to be within the seam allowance. Okay, there we go, that's that one. And once you've got your easing stitches in, then we're going to sew the sleeve together. So right sides together, and sew the inside of the arm sleeve. There we go, 1.5 centimetre seam allowance. We're going to stitch back to normal length, baste, and then okay, cool. So now we need to press the inside sleeve seam open and pink the raw edges as well. Hello. Right, okay, so now you've got your little sleeve and you've got your rows of easing stitching around the top of the sleeve head. So now we need to get this to the stitches, and you just want to be pulling. See, I've just got the 2 top threads there, and you're just going to just gently, like we did on the gathering sample right at the beginning of term. And you see, as soon as I start doing that, it's starting to create some shape around the sleeve, see, amazing. Then a bit more on the other side. So we're just guessing to start with, because we don't know how much it needs to be, but it's not going to be more than that. Okay, so now we've got a little bit of shape into the sleeve head. Okay, so now we need to set the sleeve into the armhole, and we've got to make sure that we put them the right way around. We can easily end up putting the arm facing backwards, so we're going to use our notches for that. So this is the front, so I've got my 1 notch, and I'm going to look on my sleeve, and I've got 1 notch there and 2 notches there, so I know that when it's finished I want it to look like this. So what I do, I'm sure there's different ways, is I get it how I want it to look when it's finished, I match that notch like that, and then I grab inside of the garment and grab those 2 seams together, don't let go, and turn it inside out like that. And now I'm just going to use a few pins to pin the facts of the matter. So the facts are that the 2 notches are definitely going to go together. And I'm going to pin at a right angle from my raw edges so that I can keep the pins in if I want to. The next fact is that my underarm seams want to run exactly on top of each other. So pin those there. Got my double notches at the back. I'm going to pin those together. And then I've got my dots. So now I'm going to match this dot by putting a pin through, putting it through the dot, matching it on the garment, the bodice. And there shouldn't really be any extra fabric there, but there is. Don't know why. Okay. Next one, we've got a dot, this top dot, which is to match with the shoulder seam. Shoulder seam, there we go. so I can see that. Actually, I don't need to pin it through. So there we go, that's matching on top of the shoulder seam. Pin it there. I hope you can see this all right. Then I've got this dot here. So this dot has got to match with this dot on the front. So pin through, again, pin through the dot, pin through the other dot, there we go. So now we can see that the sleeve is just a little bit gathered on the inside, and but roughly in place. So the next thing you need to do is you need to spend a bit of time sorting out so that the gathers are evenly dispersed between the dots. It's perfectly normal to have it so that the sleeve is wiggly woggly and the back is flat. That's what we want. But what we want it to be is at the point where we're going to stitch, there aren't any gathers or umps and bumps. So that bit looks all right. And this bit, it's not very even. So I'm just going to spread that out to make it a bit more even there. See, that's a bit better now. So the gathers are spread more evenly between the dots and the other dots. Okay, so that looks about all right. So there's different approaches to this. Some people like to pin everything in place, but I find that that can be a little bit annoying. So I might just put another pin there because that bit's a bit fiddly. And then I'm going to show you how I like to sew it. Okay, I'm going to change the camera angle now. Right, here it goes. Let's get this sleeve in. So it's all pinned in place, and I'm just going to sew it with the sleeve facing upwards rather than the other way around, so that, not that way around, so that I've got the foot inside of the sleeve, so to speak. I'm going to start at the underarm, and I'm putting my raw edges up against the 1.5 mark on the machine. There we go. I'm going to sew it on 4 just to baste it in, just to make it easy for me to take out again if I need to show you on another occasion. But you can baste it in or you can just sew it straight in, whatever you want. Okay, so here we go. Yeah. Keep going. So you just want to gently manipulate the sleeve round, and you want to keep trying to bring it so that it's coming up towards you rather than round a corner. Okay, good, that's the easy bit done. And so here, once you start getting to the easing part, you just want to take it slowly and try not to let any little gathers come under the needle. I like to use a little pair of scissors to sort of spread things out. So here we can sort of spread the fabric out. And here you can see there's a little gather about to happen. We're not having that. Take the pin out and just spread it out. And I've always got my eye on these raw edges up against the 1.5. And if they start moving, you just want to get them back into place. Okay, you just do it bit by bit, it's fine. So just want to spread that out. Yeah, that's nice. Okay, there's another pin in the way there, so I'm just going to take that out, and it allows me to spread out the fabric without getting a little gather. Nearly there. If it just gets like it's gathering too much, you can always take the foot up and spread it out a bit and then push it down again. And now we're back on the straight and narrow. Less. If you want to, you can do a little back tack when you get back to the underarm. Okay, that's it. Snip those. Take the pins out. And then for the big reveal. There we go. I've got a little pull thread there. Don't know why. And there, I think I might need to change my needle because I've got a couple of pulled threads there. But other than that, that is all right. Okay, I'm going to save the other sleeve and I'm going to try and do that with you all tomorrow in our Zoom meeting. Okay, see you then, bye.